In the world of professional tennis, there are Grand Slams, there are world number one rankings, and then there's something else, something on a whole other level. It's a feat so rare, so incredibly demanding, that it really is the sport's ultimate challenge. So today, let's get into the story of the Calendar Slam. To really get a feel for just how big of a deal this is, we've got to go back to the 2015 US Open. The entire sporting world, and I mean everyone, was pretty much holding its breath, and all eyes were on one person, Serena Williams. The atmosphere was just electric. You could feel it. Serena had already battled her way to victory at the Australian Open, the French Open, and Wimbledon that year. She was standing right on the edge of immortality, and the pressure must have been just unimaginable. So, what was it? What was this incredible feat she was so close to achieving? Well, she was about to join the most exclusive club in the entire sport. Okay, so let's break down exactly what we're talking about here, because the wording is super specific and it really, really matters. So here's the absolute key. It's not just about winning the four majors. Lots of players have done that. It's about winning all of them, in order, all inside the same calendar year. From January in Australia to September in New York. One perfect season. And this is a really important distinction to make. See, Serena had already achieved a non-calendar slam before. She'd held all four major trophies at the same time. But what she was chasing in 2015 was different. This was about a perfect year, a clean sweep from start to finish. And this is exactly why so few have ever done it. I mean, think about it. You have to be a master on three totally different surfaces. The slow, grinding red clay in Paris, the super fast, slick grass of Wimbledon, and the hard courts in Australia and New York. You have to stay healthy, you can't have a slump, you can't burn out, all while every single opponent you face is trying to take you down. It's an absolute marathon of perfection. So who's actually done it? Who has climbed this Mount Everest of tennis? Well, in the entire long history of the sport, only 5 singles players have ever pulled off a calendar slam. Just 5. Just look at this timeline. These aren't just great players. These are the absolute legends who defined their entire eras. And notice those huge gaps in time between each achievement. It just shows you how special this is. All right, let's meet the members of this very exclusive club. We have to start with the pioneer, the guy who proved it could even be done, the American, Don Budge. Back in 1937, he was the one who set the gold standard. But get this, Budge didn't just stop with the 4 majors in 1 year. His run of dominance was so complete that he actually won 6 Grand Slam titles in a row, from 1937 through 1938. That's a record for men's singles that still stands today. Okay, fast forward 16 years, and the first woman joins the club, Maureen Connolly Brinker, or Little Mo, as they called her, and her run in 1953 was, well, it was just pure domination. Seriously, just stop and think about this for a second. Winning all 4 major finals in 1 year is already incredible, but to do it without dropping a single set in any of those finals, that's a level of untouchable brilliance that is just, it's hard to even wrap your head around. Next up, we've got a man whose name is basically synonymous with tennis greatness, Australia's rocket, Rod Laver, and he holds a record that is truly, truly unique. He is the only player in history, man or woman, to win the calendar slam twice. He did it once as an amateur in 1962 and then came back and did it all over again as a pro in 1969. I mean, to reach the top of the mountain is one thing, but to do it again 7 years later, that's just legendary stuff. And what makes Laver's story even more incredible is that for 5 of the years between his 2 slams, he was actually banned from playing in the majors because he turned professional. Can you imagine that? He was in his prime and couldn't even compete, and he still came back to do it all over again. Right, so just 1 year after Laver's second slam, his fellow Aussie Margaret Court put her own name in the history books. And her stats are just, they're mind-boggling. She holds the all-time record for the most Grand Slam singles titles, 24. Just let that number sink in. Her 1970 calendar slam was just one piece of a career that was all about relentless, historic winning. And that brings us to the most recent person to join the club, Germany's Steffi Graf. In 1988, she didn't just win the calendar slam. Oh no. She did something that had never been done before and has never, ever been repeated since. She pulled off what has become known as the Super Slam. And that's not just winning the four majors, it's winning the four majors, plus an Olympic gold medal, and the year-end WTA Tour Championships. All of it in the same season. It's quite possibly the single greatest year anyone has ever had in the history of tennis. So, okay, we've got our five legends. But if you look even closer, you start to see that three of them achieved something so unique, they basically created a record within the record, setting them apart even from each other. It's pretty wild when you see it laid out like this. You have Laver's unbelievable feat of doing it twice. Then there's Margaret Court's boxed set. That's winning singles, doubles, and mixed doubles at all four majors, and she did that twice. And then, of course, Graf's totally one-of-a-kind super slam. It's like they found a way to one-up perfection itself. And all of this history just brings us right back to today. And it hammers home just how insanely special and elusive this whole thing really is. Remember we started with Serena in 2015? Well, when she was making that run, it had been 27 years since Steffi Graf's incredible season. Almost 3 decades had passed. We'd seen generations of legends, Sampras, Agassi, Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, and they all came up short. Serena's quest, as we know, fell just short in a shocking semifinal upset, which is just a brutal testament to the kind of pressure we're talking about. And so the club remains at 5. The big question for all of us today is, as we watch this current generation of superstars, who has what it takes to be the next one to achieve perfection?